There's a metal shortage coming, and this time it's not something that money alone can fix quickly. I'm not talking about gold, and I'm not talking about silver. I'm talking about the single most important metal powering the artificial intelligence revolution. A metal so critical that even the world's largest companies are now stepping directly into the mining supply chain just to secure future access. Recently, we saw Amazon make headlines after locking up copper production from an entire mine. While most investors are busy chasing gold and silver rallies, smart money has quietly started positioning itself in copper. Because without copper, the modern world simply cannot function. Copper is the backbone of everything that defines the next technological era. Artificial intelligence, data centers, electric vehicles, robotics, renewable energy, and national power grids all depend heavily on copper. The shocking reality is that global demand has reached a point where the world will need to mine as much copper over the next 18 years as it has mined in the last 10,000 years combined. At the same time, it typically takes 10 to 15 years to discover, permit, and build a new copper mine. This creates a structural supply problem that cannot be solved quickly, no matter how high prices go. This is why copper is now becoming one of the biggest bottlenecks to global progress. AI data centers alone require tens of thousands of tons of copper per facility. Electric vehicles use nearly 4 times more copper than traditional combustion vehicles. Power grid upgrades, renewable energy expansion, and semiconductor manufacturing are all massively copper-intensive. And yet, while gold and silver have already experienced explosive moves, copper prices have only doubled over the past few years, signaling that this metal may still be in the early stages of a long-term supercycle. Today, I want to talk about a small copper mining company that could potentially benefit from this massive imbalance between supply and demand. What makes this story interesting is that the company is currently trading around a $30 million valuation, while other miners operating in the same region with smaller land packages are valued significantly higher. The company is called Super Copper Corp, a Canadian exploration and mining firm focused on developing world-class copper projects.
Super Copper trades under the ticker symbol CUPPF on the OTCQB market, CUPR on the Canadian Securities Exchange, and N60 on the Frankfurt Exchange. The company's strategy is centered on acquiring high-potential copper assets in proven jurisdictions and advancing them through disciplined exploration. Their goal is to create asymmetric upside exposure during what many analysts believe is the beginning of a global copper supercycle. The company's flagship assets are located in Chile's Atacama region, one of the most prolific mining districts on the planet. Chile produces roughly 1/3 of the world's copper supply, and the Atacama Belt has hosted some of the largest and highest-grade copper deposits ever discovered. This is not a speculative location. It is a region with decades of mining history, strong infrastructure, and active major producers. Super Copper controls more than 12,000 hectares across 2 large-scale projects. The first is the Cordillera Cabre project, which includes 27 exploitation license applications. The project benefits from excellent infrastructure, including highway access, mine roads, established power supply, and water networks. It is also located near major mining operations run by companies such as London Mining, Capstone Copper, BHP, and Mantoverde. Super Copper holds an option to earn up to 100% ownership of this project, giving it a clear pathway to full control and long-term development. The second flagship asset is the Castilla project, covering approximately 7,200 hectares. This project lies along the same geological trend as the historic Mantoverde mine, which produced more than 1.3 million tons of copper between 2005 and 2009. Super Copper owns 100% of Castilla, giving it exceptional leverage to any exploration success. Across both projects, more than 300 surface samples have been collected and over 1,500 meters of drilling have already been completed, with some samples returning copper grades above 10%, far exceeding the global average grade of less than 1%. In its most recent investor presentation, released in January 2026, Super Copper highlighted a crucial reality. Every layer of the AI boom is constrained by copper. Hyperscale data centers, semiconductor fabrication plants, national power utilities, and renewable energy grids are all competing for limited copper supply. This shortage has reached a point where even trillion-dollar technology companies are feeling pressure. Amazon's recent decision to secure future copper supply from Rio Tinto's Arizona operations shows just how serious the situation has become. The AI race is no longer just about software and chips, it has become a race for raw materials. The company recently released significant exploration news from its Castilla project following completion of its Phase 1 surface sampling program. The results were exceptional. Rock grab samples returned copper grades of up to 17.7%, gold grades of 53.8 grams per ton, and iron content exceeding 50%. These are among the highest grades reported in the Atacama region this year. More importantly, these results were consistent across multiple areas, suggesting the presence of a large mineralizing system rather than a single isolated occurrence. According to management, the combination of copper, gold, iron, and supporting pathfinder elements indicates a robust and potentially district-scale mineralizing system. CEO Zach Deleski described the findings as a defining discovery moment for the company, stating that Castilla is quickly emerging as a potential flagship asset within one of the world's premier copper-gold jurisdictions. Looking ahead, 2026 is shaping up to be a pivotal year for Super Copper. The company plans to establish new drill targets across both projects, launch expanded drilling programs, advance additional asset acquisitions, and continue strengthening its technical team. Management has emphasized a milestone-based approach aimed at minimizing shareholder dilution while scaling exploration efforts efficiently. Of course, it's important to understand that Super Copper remains an early-stage exploration company. That means higher risk, but it also means significantly higher potential upside if discoveries continue to develop. As copper becomes increasingly essential to artificial intelligence, electrification, and global infrastructure, companies positioned in high-quality regions with strong grades may become extremely valuable. In my view, copper is no longer just another industrial metal. It is becoming the backbone of modern civilization and one of the most critical resources of the next decade. Super Copper appears to be operating in the right metal, in the right jurisdiction, at the right time, while still flying largely under the radar. As always, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Make sure you do your own research before investing in any stock. If you found value in this analysis, please like and subscribe to support the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think about copper and whether you believe the AI boom is still underappreciated. I read every comment, and I'll see you in the next video.